Hello, this is Pablo Acosta from Prescient. In this video, I want to show how to do edge data fusion. And this is very simple, flexible, and powerful in Prescient Designer. So here we're in Designer, and in this example, we have the aforementioned edge data fusion running on an edge device. As you can see here, the device is connected. And the application will also have a cloud dashboard component with both input elements, which are in this group, and output elements, which are in this group that says no, it's running in cloud. So what is the Edge Fusion application? If we descend into the subflow that gets deployed to the device, you'll see it. So there are two data sources in this example. One is a log. One data source is coming from a log, and this is using the multi-tail node log watcher that I highlighted in last month's video. So you can get a lot more details there. But essentially, in this example, it's picking up data from a robot that is outputting its position and speed to this file, which is robot, then the robot number, and then the date. And then it has a timestamp. Each log line has timestamp, an X position, a Y position, and a speed. So that is one data source. And the other data source is acceleration coming from an NCD sensor. So that's an actual sensor connected to the device. And these two data sources are fused here. And in this particular example, the two components are updated. So there is a message that's generated every time any of these two data sources produces information, and the output message always has the last value seen from any data source, and the timestamp is the timestamp of the latest update from whichever source. Of course, this is algorithmically, it can be chosen to different, but this is a typical approach used to fuse more than one data source. So once that is any message is received, it gets fused, and then it goes out of the device using the built-in networking and seamless networking provided by Designer, and then goes to the dashboard. So the dashboard is shown here, and so you see these are the log that is being produced is from the devices. It's just random values for X, Y, and the speed, and then the acceleration. You see the timestamp here. The log, the robot is logging lines at a rate of 1 per second, and you see this factor here. This is to show how to to modify or give input to the Edge Data Fusion engine and the data engine, where in this case it's from this cloud dashboard. And by the way, if I didn't mention this, this is a cloud dashboard. So here you see factor, and this factor is just going to multiply the acceleration, which is in milli-Gs. So if I set it to say 5, now you'll see the the acceleration value is being obviously increased to 5. So in this case, the factor is changed in the dashboard, and if I go back to Designer, it's changed here in this subflow that says dashboard input, and it gets transmitted to the device and stored in the device, and obviously it's used by the data fusion algorithm to to multiply the acceleration. What I also want to show is that given this is designer, Prescient Edge, and no red, you can create an endpoint for to get input for that factor. In this case, I'll show here, we're going to create a HTTP post endpoint, which is in the which is going to be /factor, and then we can essentially do an HTTP post request and alter that factor. Note that this is running at the edge, so this endpoint is in Prescient Edge in the device. Could be out in the field. So in the logic that this example has is such that when this is posted, it gets obviously immediately used by the data engine at the edge that's fusing the data, but it's also communicated to the cloud dashboard. And you can see this output number 2 then goes to update the dashboard input. So let's give an example of that. So here I have Postman is going to create a post request, and the URL where Prescient Edge can be accessed is the IP of the device. In this case, I just have an alias. So Pi31, which is the same device ID that I use in the signer for this device, port 3000, and then the no-red endpoints are prefixed by the path PDIH no-red. So if you recall from a few seconds ago, we're creating a factor endpoint. So the complete URL for this endpoint is PDIH no-red factor. And so if I post this very simple example, just a number, let me show the dashboard again. So the factor was at 5, and let's just change it. How about to 8? So it's a push request, just a simple body with a number, and that will be taken as the factor. So when I post this, it will. You should see the number changing to from 5 to 8, which means that the cloud dashboard was updated, but also, and more importantly, the data agent at the edge is now using that factor. So I send it, get an OK, factor in the dashboard go to 8, and the accelerations now is multiplied by 8 to make it even more obvious. Let's make it go back to 1. So the numbers will be significantly smaller. And there you go. So to recap, in this example, I've shown a edge data fusion of 2 sources, one coming from a log, one coming from an acceleration sensor being fused at the edge, then communicated to a cloud dashboard, and where the edge data engine has an input which can be changed either by a URL, by an HTTP endpoint or by a cloud dashboard. And this is a simple example, hopefully highlights the how easy it is to create a data engine at the edge and deploy it with all the ease and speed that Designer provides. We'll put links to the data, the multi-tail log watcher in the description below, and also I'll put in the we'll put the flow also in the link, so you can download it and play with it if that appeals to you. Hopefully this was useful. Till next time.